You know what they just remind me of? I watched that Eddie Murphy documentary last night. That guy is so fucking ridiculously talented, okay? Not only like Oscar level actor, one of the greatest comedians of all time.
I've done so many different types of things.
Good morning, my neighbor!
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
One of the greatest ever.
It's all about my children. Pursue peace of mind. If you get that, then you got it all.
One of the greatest impressionists of all time. And when he does voices, it's like Mel Blanc, where he comments, he goes, you don't hear my voice in it at all. And there's this thing towards the end, he's playing like blues guitar. Like he's singing in this voice. He sounds like John Lee Hooker, like somewhere around that like range. And it doesn't sound like him at all. He sounds fucking incredible.
Lord have mercy. Help me, Lord. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Lord, man. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord, man. Help me, Lord, man.
It was an incredible documentary because I've seen his whole career. I think I kind of missed 1980. I was only 12 when he got on SNL, so I wasn't up that late. But I remember I had started buying comedy albums, and I had bought like the Richard Pryor ones. Then I went to George Carlin, and then Eddie Murphy had this album that came out. It had two different album covers. I had it on vinyl, and on the vinyl one, he was smiling. He had a rose behind his ear. And then, like, I feel like they re-released it after he blew up. It might have been recorded at the comic strip, too. I'm not sure. I forget. I got that album still somewhere around here. So whenever that was, and I remember being in 7th grade, like in 1982 or something like that, and being in my math class. I still remember this, and I remember I had memorized because I listened to it so many times. He did a bit about, somebody getting hit by a car in Brooklyn and some, crazy homeless guy who didn't see it but pretended like he saw the whole thing. Oh shit, Gad, I seen it. I seen the whole thing. I remember I had the whole fucking bit down, and I was doing it and making this kid laugh his ass off. I was just telling him the bit. And I told you guys that. I used to fucking do my paper route in the morning, and I would be doing the routines out loud on my bike, pretending I was in front of my whole school on stage. And for some reason, I still wasn't able to be like, hey, Bill, maybe that means you want to be a comedian. But it didn't seem possible. It's not like you guys with your goddamn camera phones and your video and all of that shit. It was just like, the only person that had a camera was like your dad or your mom, Anyways, what I'm trying to say is I'm fucking old. So to sit down and watch that thing and have them slowly go through like his childhood and then take you through his whole career was really amazing. And of course, one of my favorite parts was when he talks about Charlie, even though I thought I wanted him to talk longer about it. But just seeing Charlie and watching him telling those stories, that guy was so goddamn funny. And so much of what made Charlie Murphy funny was him just being Charlie Murphy. Like he wasn't, so many times I remember he would tell me something and he was telling it to me sincerely, and I would just be on the ground laughing. And then he would laugh. He would sort of think about what like the way I was laughing, it would kind of make him think about what he just said. I'm so thankful for that Dave and Neil got me on Chappelle Show. And then I met him, and then Donnell came up with that idea for the Rich Bitch Tour for us all to go out. And that's how I became friends with him. And out of all this shit in my career, all the fucking people I've met, Charlie Murphy is at the top of the list as far as just like one of the coolest, most interesting, just like characters I've ever met in my life. I still miss that guy. Anyway, so it was great to see him in that and Eddie talking about him and all that, even though it was like, sad hearing him say that he missed his brother, obviously. But it was just cool to just to hear his voice and hear him telling those stories. Like that was another thing too. Is you guys, you got the Charlie Murphy True Hollywood Stories. Like I have 6 other ones that I can still remember that he told me. That those are obviously his stories, so I'm not going to tell them. But like we would be like, in the car riding to the gig, and he would just start telling these fucking stories, and it was so fucking surreal. That was one of the most surreal times of my life, where I had done the show, and I came on in the 2nd season, so it was just starting right before it blew up, the Chappelle Show. And I remember walking down the street, and the first time I heard people quoting the show, and I was walking behind them, and they were quoting something that I was on set and saw Dave say like 6 months earlier, and then it came out, and then they were doing it. Obviously the Rick James sketch was immediately legendary, and as people were reacting to that, we were on tour, and I would be in the car with Charlie, and he would tell another crazy story from the 80s, back when Eddie was doing whatever, like The Golden Child or Trading Places or Beverly Hills Cop. It was amazing because nobody knew who the fuck I was at all. Like I remember when I was on that tour, people used to always come up to me, "Hey, good set. Are you from Atlanta? Or are you a writer on the show?" Like, they had no idea who the fuck I was. So I kind of felt like the whole time I was on that tour or on that show, I kind of felt like I had won like some like radio contest, like the fifth caller is gonna get to ride to the gig with some of the guys from the Chappelle Show. Like that's literally what it felt like. But anyway, it's on Netflix. If you guys get a chance to watch it, I mean, he's truly, like I can't even say once in every 50 years, because he's in his 60s, and there's still yet to be another Eddie Murphy, like that level of all of those gifts in one guy.